Now that the NBA offseason is here, we're going to read a lot of stories by journalists who are describing guards in the NBA and their workouts, where their players trying to become a point guard or trying to improve the player's point guard skills. Typically, these workouts, as described or shown in accompanying videos, will show the player dribbling, two balls in a stationary position, or oftentimes doing something where the coach is pushing them in the shoulders or pushing them in the chest or doing something to try to distract the player as he's dribbling. The problem with most of these drills is the main problem, among others, is that the player is staring at the ground as he's doing these drills. Personally, I want my point guard to have his eyes up and seeing the court and focusing on the information in the environment and trying to figure out what's the best play to make and who might be open and who has the best matchup and what shot he may be able to create, as opposed to staring at the ground. The ground gives no information. It's not going anywhere. It's always the same. The ball's always going to bounce up off the ground, provided the ball's not lopsided. So there's nothing to be gained from looking at the ground. And players do these drills and they practice in such a posture that looking up becomes difficult because their torso is bent so far forward that they have to strain their neck to try to look up to see the court, as opposed to training in a more natural posture that people use when they actually dribble in the game, and doing drills where they have to decipher the information in the environment, or they have to make decisions, or they have to make a pass from the dribble. The dribble is not an end. So a dribble is used to either create a pass or a shot, and therefore most, if not all, of the dribbling drills, especially for players at an NBA caliber level, the drills should end with a shot or a pass. Just dribbling for the sake of dribbling is practicing something that's not realistic, because you're never going to dribble that many times in a row. You're never going to dribble, in a straight line, etc., etc. You're always using the dribble to try to create a pass or a shot. And so drills that don't end with one of those outcomes just aren't representative of what happens in the game. And so, I know, coaches and players, while they're developing their handles and so forth, but how often is that necessary in a game? Even great ball handling, as we've seen in the games, their ball control isn't perfect. They make moves and it's the quickness, but it's the ability to react to the defense, and make the next move that makes them look like they have amazing handles. And if you're only practicing by yourself, you're not learning how to react to those defensive cues that are going to enable you to make that second move quicker. If a player, struggles to handle the ball or struggles to bounce the ball, by all means, a straight line or stationary drill, especially for beginners, that can be appropriate. But for an NBA caliber player, I just don't feel that the mistake or the limiting factor is the inability to bounce a basketball. To me, what separates the point guards from the other players is the ability to make decisions when under time and space pressure. So when somebody's in their space, taking away their space, putting pressure on them, body contact, and they have to go at a high rate of speed, can they make the appropriate decision? Can they attend to the environment? Can they see all 8 or 9 other players on the court? And then can they make the best decision possible given that situation? To me, that's what separates, a Chris Paul, a Steph Curry, a Dame Lillard, Russell Westbrook, these types of players, from other players. It's not, how quick they can bounce a ball or how powerful they can bounce a ball or how many moves they can make back to back. It's what can they do with that dribble? What shot can they create? What pass can they create? Can they find the most open player in a game situation?